Well, welcome back. We are taking a look at your grain and livestock markets as we come down the home stretch of our last trading day before the big USDA reports come out tomorrow morning. I'm Marlon Bowling with you. We're going to go right to the trading floor and see what's going on from the source. And there we have none other than, what's his name? Todd Bubba Horwitz of BubbaTrading.com.
What's his name is right. That's
yes.
Okay.
How can you not tell when it says Bub right across your lapel there? All right. Todd, good to have you with us here as we get ready for the reports tomorrow. Things seem to have really quieted down here in the grain trade today, and I guess that was fully expected, right?
Yeah, I think it was, but it has had a nice turnaround. I mean, if you look at, corn is now, up a couple of cents, and soybeans came from down all the way. Now they're positive, and wheat is also higher now. Again, I think they've already, if they're going to do some damage and the report's going to re-bearish again, I think they're already sold. I think this is almost telling you that there's a buyer. I think they can't push them down any farther, and I think that's really more of a signal that I'm looking at. I think that the commercials have already sold what they're going to sell and put into this, and I don't think whatever the report is, I think they can only go higher from there. It might be a quick drop down and then a rally, but I don't see much lower than where we are right now.
Oh, you don't? Okay. So what do you think now as we head toward harvest? I mean, we're already starting harvest out in the southern part of the Corn Belt, around Texas, South Carolina. I understand they're underway. So it's moving northward. Do you see more pressure on the markets, though, because the cash corn has to come out of the grain bins on the farm yet before harvest gets underway here?
No, I don't actually. I think we're going to see a bigger demand here than we were expecting. I'm basing some of this based on what's going on in the equity markets as well. I believe there's going to be money flowing in to the alternative investments, which happen to be grains, happen to be one big one of them. And I think that corn and wheat look terrific, and I'm looking for still at around that $4.50 level December corn and around the $6 level or so in December wheat. And I think we're going to get there, as things go on. I think that the information that we've had, we've already priced in how much bad news we can have. I don't think there's going to be much more bad news to go. So I think we see higher prices from here.
On the corn markets right now, it looks like we're just fractionally higher, maybe as much as a penny higher. It looks like on the soybean trade, at last check, we're about 2.5 cents higher, so not a big gain right there. And I was looking at the wheat markets here in Chicago and Kansas City. Actually, they're firming up a little bit. It looks like 2 to almost 3 cents higher now, and that would be on the Chicago market, similar in Kansas City as well. Minneapolis wheat, by the way, happens to be firming up just a little bit. We're up about 7 to 8 cents at last check in Minneapolis now. So there you have it. Maybe heading toward the close. They're starting to get a little head of steam behind them here. Todd, if you don't mind, I'll hold you through the break here, and then you and I will talk about the cattle and hog markets. Lots going on there. We'll talk with Todd Bubba Horwitz in just a moment, Todd. All right, hold yourself. We'll be right back.
I'll be here.
Well, we're back talking with Todd Bubba Horwitz of BubbaTrading.com, and he's located at the edge of the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. And I want to focus now on this livestock trade. All right, a lot of extreme bearishness taking place here on the cattle side of things. I want to focus on that first here, Todd. Very sharp losses in the live cattle board. We're getting, over $2 lower across the board. They're kind of hunting around, if you will, for the limit down trade. Feeder cattle, very sharp losses there, too. I understand we've been flirting with limit down there. September is limit down for sure. Let's talk about this cattle market right now. Fed Cattle Exchange was held earlier today, and it sounds like that was about $1 or so under last week. So give us some sort of silver lining in this cattle market here. Can you or not?
I can. I mean, look, I told Mark this morning, I would be a buyer here of the fat cattle. I think that we're reaching a great level. We targeted, when we were up at 125, we were looking for 112 or 110, and here we are. We're a little bit below there, but I think you can step in here. I think this is a great spot to speculate a little bit and look for some higher prices. I think feeders, 140 is my target. I think we're going to get there probably tomorrow, and then I'd look to be a buyer there. Again, I'm very positive for cattle going into the end of the year. I think that this was a pretty well broadcast sell that was going to come. It was dictating it throughout the entire market for the last 3 or 4 months that we're going to see this, and now here it is. So now I don't want to panic here. I want to now step in. I believe this is the right opportunity that we were looking for, and we waited for these prices. So I'm very comfortable buying right here.
I see where Kansas sold about 4,000 head at 115. Nebraska had 2,000 at 115. Texas, a couple thousand head at 115. Seems to be pretty general attitude out there that that is going to be our price here for this week so far. So I don't think they're going to venture very far from that the way it looks. Now, if you look at the lean hog trade, we're a little firmer here today. Are you surprised at how strong the hogs remain?
Yeah, I'm unbelievably surprised. Like a hog sat on my head. I mean, they continue to grind higher. They have no relent, but that indicates to me that somebody is stuck in this market and they just can't, obviously we don't trade gigantic numbers there and they just haven't been able to get out. And I think this is one of the reasons we're seeing price hold up. I mean, we're traditionally strong going in here and it should be a little bit weakening. And plus, if you look at the formation, it looks like we should be weaker. And I'm pretty confident we'll see some lower prices here. But at the end of the day, you can't really step in the front of them right here because they continue to try to push through. But I'd be very surprised if October got over 70.
So you consider that to be pretty stout overhead resistance right now? What above that, or what about above that? Any others?
Right now, I don't know that it'll get that far, but I don't see much. But listen, if we get through there, you probably see a big pop, and they could immediately pop up quite a bit from there because they're going to really get a lot of work going through here. And if they do break out, then they'll break out, but then I think they'll come back anyways. But in the meantime, again, this is a time that hopefully farmers and producers are hedging underneath here because these are very nice prices for this time of year as well. So I hope that they're protecting some of the money that they're making here.
All right, now BubbaTrading.com is a fascinating website. If somebody goes there to check it out, what can they find?
Well, they can find it. I'm actually doing a webinar on Saturday at noon Eastern time, and they can check that out. And again, my goal is to help educate people and give them the financial literacy in all markets, regular equity or agriculture. I mean, I want them to understand the things that allow you to play for the big market and still protect yourself so you don't have to worry about these wild swings when markets happen. So that's one of the things they can see there.
And that's one thing that I've always been impressed with, Todd, the fact that you work with a lot of young folks, high school, college age, and they don't have a clue about marketing and protecting themselves and their bottom line, and you do a lot of work with that, so kudos to you on that.
Thank you so much.
You'll be doing more of that, I'm sure, as you move forward. So check it out. BubbaTrading.com is his website. Todd Bubba Horwitz of Chicago. He is with that company, BubbaTrading.com. That's his.
Yeah, great partner. He'll be with us tonight on our evening news. We'll wrap it up for the day.